I spent 30 years of my life angry. And it cost me everything. My relationships. My health. My peace of mind. But what I'm about to share with you changed everything. Here's what nobody tells you about anger. It doesn't just hurt the people around you. It's literally killing you from the inside out. Your body can't tell the difference between real danger and the rage you feel when someone cuts you off in traffic. Every single time you get angry, your body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate spikes. Your blood pressure shoots up. And here's the terrifying part. This happens whether you express that anger or bottle it up inside. I learned this the hard way. At 45 years old, I ended up in the emergency room with chest pains. The doctor looked me straight in the eye and said something he'll never forget. He said my anger was going to kill me before anything else could. That moment changed my life. But the real transformation didn't happen overnight. It took me years to understand what anger really is. And why we hold on to it even when it's destroying us. Let me tell you what anger actually is. It's not strength. It's not passion. It's fear wearing a mask. Every single time you feel angry, there is something underneath that anger. Fear of being disrespected. Fear of losing control. Fear of being hurt. Think about the last time you got really angry. Now dig deeper. What were you actually afraid of? This question will blow your mind once you start asking it honestly. I used to think my anger made me strong. I thought it protected me. But here's the brutal truth. My anger was a prison. It kept me trapped in the same patterns for decades. Reacting the same way. Hurting the same people. Getting the same results. The turning point came when I realized something profound. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You've probably heard that before. But have you really thought about what it means? Every minute you spend angry at someone, they're living their life. They're probably not even thinking about you. Meanwhile, you're sitting there stewing. Your stomach in knots. Your mind racing. Your body breaking down. Who's really being punished here? Not them. You are. You're the one suffering. You're the one missing out on peace. You're the one destroying your own happiness. Now here's where it gets interesting. The path from anger to compassion isn't what you think. It's not about being weak. It's not about letting people walk all over you. It's about understanding something deeper about human nature. Every person who has ever made you angry is suffering. Think about that for a second. Happy people don't hurt others. Peaceful people don't lash out. The person who cut you off in traffic might be rushing to the hospital. The coworker who snapped at you might be going through a divorce. This doesn't excuse their behavior. But it explains it. And understanding is the first step toward compassion. When you start seeing people's pain instead of just their actions, everything changes. Let me give you a practical example. My father was an angry man. He yelled constantly. Nothing was ever good enough. For years, I was angry at him. I resented him. I blamed him for so much pain in my life. Then one day, my aunt told me something I never knew. My father grew up in extreme poverty. He was beaten regularly as a child. He watched his own father drink himself to death. He never learned how to express love or handle emotions. Suddenly, I saw him differently. Not as a monster, but as a wounded child who grew into a wounded man. A man who was doing the best he could with the tools he had. That realization didn't erase the past, but it freed me from the anger. This is the power of compassion. It doesn't change what happened, but it changes how you carry it. And that makes all the difference in the world. Now let's talk about the practical steps. How do you actually transform anger into compassion? It starts with awareness. You have to catch yourself in the moment. Feel the anger rising. Notice it without judgment. This is harder than it sounds. We're so used to reacting automatically. Someone says something. We snap back. Someone does something. We explode. There's no space between trigger and reaction. The practice is creating that space. When you feel anger rising, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. This isn't some hippie nonsense. It's neuroscience. Deep breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system. It literally calms your body down. In that space, ask yourself the question: what am I really afraid of right now? What's underneath this anger? Be honest with yourself. The answer might surprise you. Next, try to see the situation from the other person's perspective. This doesn't mean agreeing with them. It means understanding them. What might they be going through? What pain might be driving their behavior? This practice changed everything for me. I remember being furious at a customer service representative who was being incredibly rude. Then I stopped and thought, this person probably deals with angry people all day. They probably get paid minimum wage. They probably hate their job. My anger melted. I actually felt sorry for them. I ended up being kind, and you know what happened? They completely changed their tone. The situation resolved peacefully. If I had stayed angry, it would have escalated. We both would have suffered. Here's another critical insight. Compassion isn't just for others. You need compassion for yourself too. Many of us are angrier at ourselves than anyone else. We beat ourselves up constantly. We never forgive our own mistakes. This self-directed anger is just as destructive. Maybe more so. Because you can't escape yourself. You carry that critic everywhere you go. It whispers in your ear constantly. You're not good enough. You're a failure. You always mess up. Learning self-compassion means treating yourself like you would treat a good friend. When you make a mistake, would you call your friend an idiot? Would you tell them they're worthless? Of course not. So why do you talk to yourself that way? Start noticing your self-talk. When you catch yourself being harsh, pause. Reframe it with kindness. Instead of "I'm so stupid," try "I made a mistake and I can learn from this." It sounds simple, but it's revolutionary. Now let's address the big question. Does choosing compassion mean becoming a doormat? Absolutely not. Compassion is not weakness. Compassion is not passive. You can have boundaries and still be compassionate. In fact, the strongest boundaries come from a place of compassion. When you understand that someone's behavior is about their pain, not your worth, you can set limits without anger. You can say no without guilt. You can walk away without resentment. I learned to tell people, I understand you're upset, but I won't accept being spoken to that way. That's compassion with boundaries. I see their pain, but I don't absorb it. I don't let it become my pain. This brings me to one of the most important lessons. You can't control other people. You can only control yourself. Your reactions. Your choices. Your peace of mind. When you truly accept this, a huge weight lifts. So much anger comes from trying to control things we can't control. Other people's opinions. Other people's choices. Other people's behavior. We exhaust ourselves trying to change them. And we get angry when they don't change. Letting go of that need for control is liberating. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you focus your energy on what you can actually influence. Your own thoughts. Your own actions. Your own growth. Here's what my life looks like now after this transformation. I still feel anger sometimes. I'm human. But it doesn't control me anymore. I notice it. I understand it. And I choose how to respond. My relationships are deeper. My health is better. My mind is clearer. I sleep at night. I don't replay conversations in my head for hours. I don't hold grudges that eat away at me. This didn't happen because I'm special. It happened because I made a choice. Every single day, I choose compassion over anger. Some days are easier than others. But every day, I practice. You can make this choice too. Starting right now. Think about someone you're angry at. Really angry at. Now try to see their humanity. Their struggles. Their pain. Can you find even a tiny bit of compassion for them? If you can, you've just taken the first step. That's all it takes. One small step. Then another. Then another. Over time, these steps transform your entire life. The lesson that took me decades to learn is this. Anger is a choice. Compassion is a choice. Every moment, you get to choose which one you feed. Choose wisely. Your life depends on it. I'm not saying this journey is easy. I'm saying it's worth it. More worth it than anything else I've ever done. Because at the end of your life, you won't remember the times you won arguments. You'll remember the peace you felt. The love you gave. The compassion you showed. Start today. Choose compassion. Your future self will thank you.